and welcome. How we doing? I see Derek in there. How you doing? Yeah, I'm looking forward to this too. It's my very first live stream, so there may be bumps in the road, so bear with me. Um, and WMKI ground. We better finish washing the dishes before the stream start. Well, you got a couple minutes, so go ahead, do that. Um, so yeah, just a brief synopsis. Only a few of us here. That's perfectly cool. I was half expecting to be here by myself. But anyway, tonight we're going to do a little bit of island hopping. The route is actually about an hour and 38 minutes, and that's if we don't land at every airport. So I don't know. We may land, do touch and go at one or two of them, or maybe we'll hit all of them. I don't know. But it's going to be more of a fun thing. I know I try to do a lot of real world experience in my videos, but it's just more of a celebration type thing. So we'll do a little bit of both. Um, so I did start doing some planning. And as a matter of fact, let me bring up, um, here we are. And let me see, studio mode. No, check that out. And streaming. And SkyVector, here we go. That should bring SkyVector in. So our route is pretty much going from Mansfield Airport here down to Block Island, and then over to Martha's Vineyard, and then down to Nantucket Island, and then up to Chatham. Um, and then we'll hit this VOR up here and go over to Provincetown. The planning part is I've been talking about a bunch of different real world things. One thing I like to do, especially when going over water, is to figure out my altitudes. And so this little stretch down here is only about 10 miles of over ocean. And if the engine quit, I need to be able to glide and make land. So the basic rule of thumb. Hey, Symphonetic, welcome. First live stream, woohoo! That's right. Um, so anyway, what I'm saying is, you want to be able to glide and reach land if you can. And the basic rule of thumb is that the ratio is about a 1.5 to 1. So you can go 1.5 distance units for every one altitude unit. And so it's basically equates to 1.5 miles of over the ground travel for every 1,000 feet of altitude you lose. So um, what we're going to do is we have to clear the Providence airspace here, and the ceiling of the Providence airspace is 4,100, and it goes down to the surface here and down to 1,700 feet there. So we need to at least be above 4,100 feet. And then if we look at our compass heading, we're going to it's going to be basically heading a 213, which is westerly, and west is even thousands plus 500 feet. So I figure we'll go at 4,500 feet, and 4,500 feet would give me approximately 6.7 miles of glide time if the engine quit. But that space gap down here is only about 10 miles. So I only need to, cover 5 miles in glide. Because if the engine quits in the first half, I can turn around and glide back to land up at the north here. If it quits in the second half, I just continue straight on and go down to Block Island. It's going to be an interesting one here between these two islands because it's 46 miles to the airport, and I did a little math calculations, and the over water is about 36 miles. And so to really cover that, I'd need to get up to like 11,500 or 12 or 13,500, and I really don't. There's not enough time to climb that high and get back down. So what we're going to do is get up to about 9,500 feet, because going eastward is odd thousands plus 500 in altitude when you're above 3,000 feet. And so we'll go up to about 9,500 feet, and once we get to about 9,500 feet, we'll be able to start coming down again. The issue is that 9,500 feet only gives us about 14 miles glide. So double that, that's 28 miles. So we have 28 miles of glide time, forward or back to the midpoint, but it's 36 miles long. So we're going to have about 8 miles in the middle that there'll be no chance to return to land. So that's when you want to pack your life vests or maybe inflatable or something like that for ocean if you're going to fly over the ocean without a chance to land back at land. And the rest is still about 10 miles, and so 45 to 5,500 feet would be fine for the rest of these. But it's just that one stretch between Block Island and Martha's Vineyard that's the tricky one, or the quote-unquote dangerous one. So, anyway, that's the gist of that. Let me move Sky Vector out of the way. And shark repellent, yes. We may have a little treat on the way up the east coast of Massachusetts there. I don't know if people remember a certain movie, but we shall see. So I guess we'll just get to it. Let me hop in to the airplane. Cold and dark. I have made sure that we're full of fuel. All right, full mixture. Gas is on both tanks. And let's put our beacon on. Our battery and master. Let me kick the fuel pump for a minute. That's kind of our primer. Should be good, I think. And see if we start her up. There we go. We'll turn on the avionics. And taxi. And nav lights. Strobe. So how's everybody doing out there tonight? Do a little pushback here. Does the sound okay? Voice too loud or anything like that? I don't believe I am Symphonetic. I'm pretty sure this is all stock in terms of the Garmin and everything else. Where's my pushback guy going? Oh, there we go. Alright, we'll stop right about here. Hello, stop. He doesn't want to stop. I guess you have to be in the cockpit to get the pushback to stop. Well, alrighty then. See? First glitch of the stream. This is all live, folks. Can't make it up. Alright. So I guess we can demonstrate grass procedures now. So when you're on grass, you want to pull the yoke back all the way to keep the nose as light as possible. Let's wait for him to get out of the way. Now you understand the fun we have, Symphonetic, when we're watching your stream. I think I'm going to end up with a highlight reel. Alright. So I'm just going to taxi on over to 1-4 here. know if anybody was going to try to fly along like they do in yours, Symphonic, but I left it open for that possibility if anybody wants to jump in. East server, East US. AJ Jim, hello. Hey, thanks for watching. Yeah, I just started this effectively to just document my own re-practicing to try to get current again in the real deal. I am a licensed pilot. I'm just way out of currency. I have not flown in many years. And I figured why not use a simulator to, you know, brush up and whatnot. I'm still super rusty, so I'm not ready to get back in the real thing yet, as you'll see. But it's getting there. Thank you very much for joining. So again, when we taxi, you know, no more than just a brisk walk. Walking pace is all you really need. You don't want to go too much faster than that. And I do have the Honeycomb Alpha and Bravo, the Alpha yoke and the Bravo throttle quadrant. And I'm going to be using most of the controls on there, but I'll show where it is on the dashboard as well when I do certain things. For some reason, my heading, autopilot heading button isn't really working on the Bravo. I haven't figured that out yet. Everything else seems to work. And we get all these great tips while you're getting... Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll hold short here. Now, this is much different than the Cessna 172 I have access to. And in that, this is so much newer. We don't have the, hey, Alan Cleveland, good to see you. The one that I have access to, it does not have a glass cockpit. It's got the standard, I like to call them steam gauges, but you know, the standard gauges. It does have a Garmin in it, but it's a 530, I think. It's a small thing. But it also has, it's carbureted. Well, this one I have to believe is fuel injected because there is no carb heat. So it's got to be fuel injected. So anyway, I'm just trying to learn these things. Now, if we look on this particular plane, this is again why this is going to be half real world and half just fun. For instance, I'm going to use some autopilot during this flight so I can look at chat and talk to you guys as well. But in learning this particular model, I noticed that the VY is 74 knots, and that's a climb out speed. That's the best rate of climb, I think. And 62 is the, shoot, I forget what VX is now. There's one, let me see, if I remember this right. VY, yeah, VY is the best rate of climb. That's the best gain of altitude over time. VX, however, is the best angle of climb, which is, it gets you the best gain of altitude over distance. So VX in this claims to be 62. That's slow. Wow. Well, we'll have to try it. So, all right, let me do a little bit of a run up here. And again, I'm not sure how much of a run up I really need to do. There's no carb heat. I mean, I did a little bit earlier, but let's just do it anyway. Let's go up to 1700 RPM. I'm not sure if that's appropriate for a fuel injected plane here, but we'll do it the way I know anyway. Yeah, VX, get over that deer in the runway. That's right. All right. So we're on that. I'm going to move the key to left. Watch the drop. The RPM comes down to 1560. Back to both. So it's like 130 RPM, 140 RPM drop, which in the 152 and the 172 I know of, that's excessive. But if we go down here to this one, this is now the right, 1560. Back to both. Comes back up to 1700. Yeah, okay. So they both dropped about 130 RPM, and they were like almost identical to each other. So I have to believe that's okay in this particular model. I don't actually have the POH for it, so I guess we'll just roll with it. And I'll just come back down to idle, make sure it doesn't stall. I would have pulled the carb heat here, but there is no carb heat to pull. Okay, not stalling. Come back up a little bit. All right. So now that first leg, I said I wanted to get up to about 4,500 feet to clear Providence. So I'm going to go ahead and set my altitude to 4,500 feet with these two knobs down here. This outer knob does thousands and the inner knob does hundreds of feet, and it shows up right here above your altitude tape, in case you didn't know. So there's 4,500. I'm actually going to, you have a choice of doing it either with vertical speed or FLC. I like FLC in this case. So I'm going to hit flight level change. What that does is it opens up a little box up here above my speed tape. And now I can use the nose up and nose down buttons to set a speed I want to climb at. So let's do the best rate, or best angle rather. Let's see what that gives us. We're going to do some experimentation here today. And they said it was 62. Man, that feels slow. This rotates at 55. That's VR right here. Wow. All right. We'll see what it does. Let's make sure our flaps are up. Yes, they are. Doors and windows latched. Yep. All right, let me reset my view. I'm going to activate my head tracking for a second. That looks good. Let's take a look, make sure there's nobody coming in from the right. Nope. And we'll take a look over, make sure the runway looks clear. It does. And we would make our radio call to, Mansfield traffic. Cessna Juliet Bravo 7 Zulu Victor, departing 14 Mansfield. And off we go. Well, supposedly the stall speed, Symphonic in this thing, actually with full flaps, actually is 40, 42. But I'm just going by what the speed tapes are telling me. They could be wrong, and we may crash and burn. We'll see. All right. So now, one thing I figured out with the heading, you're supposed to be able to push it to move your heading bug up to the top. I'm not in legacy mode, so this must be an Xbox kind of thing. And if you don't know on PC and you had this trouble, you use your left mouse button to click and highlight it yellow. Then while you're holding your left mouse button, click your right mouse button to push it. And there's your heading bug put up to your current heading. Yeah, that was smooth. All right, so now I'm going to make sure we go into heading mode. And we've already got flight level change at 62 knots. We're going to heading mode, so I just have to hit the autopilot once we get off the ground, and it should do its thing. So here we go. Full power. Try to maintain the center line best we can. There we go. Watch the speed tape. Speed tape is alive. There's 40. 55, rotate. And let's pull back on this sucker. Go, we are climbing. Positive rate of climb. I would do gear up, except this is a fixed wing aircraft. I mean, it's fixed landing gear aircraft. So we don't need to. And autopilot. Alright, I'm going to turn my head tracking off for a moment. Cool, didn't know that. What was that, Symphonic, about the heading push to align in the non-legacy? Is that what you meant? Yeah, it took me almost forever to figure that out. So we're going to climb up to 4,500 feet. I'm going to now take my heading, because we're flying runway heading at the moment. We're just getting above pattern altitude. We're doing a little bit of a straight out here. But I'm going to actually start a turn to the right now using my heading bug, so the autopilot will follow it. AJ 707. Facing some real issues after last update on Xbox X. Graphics, altitude inaccurate readings, shadows everywhere, external view rainbow. Wow. That is strange. Wow, man. See, I don't have an Xbox, or I might have had tips for you, but I know Symphonic might have tips, and also Hudson, if you check out Hudson. He's doing a whole bunch of Xbox stuff right now. So I'm going to turn this heading knob to try to get to intercept my nav line. X Spindrift. I saw you earlier. Thank you for joining. Alright, so we're going to intercept that line. Now I'm also going to activate nav. And so on this, can't click the heading bug to match heading. Huh. My goodness. Yeah, I'm not sure about on the Xbox. I was just saying if you left with a mouse, if you left click to highlight it yellow, I don't know how you do that on the Xbox. But then on the mouse, while holding that, you right click and it makes it click to sync the heading. At least that's how it works on a PC Spindrift. I don't know if there's a similar way you can do that with the Xbox. Alright, so anyway, as I was saying, I hit nav. So what it did is it put GPS in white next to heading, because we're currently in heading hold mode. But once we get close enough to our course line here, then the GPS will take over and heading will go away and it'll start following our navigation path. Yep, okay, Hudson has a live group flight on Sunday. That's cool. Hope some of you guys can make it. I'll be camping. Vaccination in Malaysia just reached 72% of adult population. Like the first and second dose. That's good. Excellent. Good to hear it. No, Alan, I'm not camping now. I'm in my office at home. I couldn't be streaming if I was at camp. Spindrift have to do a manual rotation of the knob to change heading. For some reason, the click function is borked. That's weird. And honestly, I wish I had experience with the Xbox to be able to help you out, but I just don't. Symphonic does, and like I said, Hudson does, and a few others. Yeah. We're almost up to 4,500 feet now. That'll end up leveling us off, and I'm going to actually start pulling some mixture back a little bit. So we're well above 3,000 feet. So we'll lean it out just a little. We went from 2,500 RPM to 2,510. Leaning slowly. 2,520. 2,530. We're getting the fuel flow to come down. Now it's starting to drop again, so I'll just increase mixture a little bit. 2,530. And start reducing the throttle a little bit to stay around 2,400 RPM. So we're very close to our 4,500 feet. Well, you didn't crash, so that's all. Yeah, that whole 61 or 62 knot. Wow, that kind of blew me away. So this scenery is actually doing pretty good here. Yeah, WMK high ground. Yeah, it's not quite that day here yet. That was definitely a rough day. Struggled with setting the autopilot settings via mouse too. Anything in particular, Derek, or just in general? It's tough. Let's see, we have 22 minutes en route, and we are about 44 miles. That's pretty nice. Oh, entering approach, trying to get it loaded. Yeah. Yeah, that is tricky with a mouse. Also depends on what Garmin unit you're using as well. The G1000 can be a little bit tricky, and that's the one I'm most familiar with. I'm not very familiar with a bunch of the other ones. Symphonic knows a bunch of those. He's going to be learning me. Okay. Well, if we hop back in here, I come down. What I tend to do is I'll open my flight plan. Let's see, what about procedures? Select approach. I'm not really going to activate anything. I want to see if anything makes sense. So let's. Okay, so yeah, that is my destination. So I have ILS localizer RNAV 7. So I would actually take, I think it's this knob. Yep, this inner knob here on the bottom. Highlight my RNAV, hit enter. Vectors. You know what? I don't know which one of these I would choose. Let's do that one for the moment. Enter. Oh, WMK at ground. Hey. All right. Well, hey, have a good night. And we'll see you next time. Take care. So yeah. So I just picked one. I don't know what it's doing. I'm not going to activate it, but then minimum's off. I don't know. I'd maybe turn it on. Barrow. And then set an altitude. Be with this outer knob. Then you can set your minimum, whatever it is. Let's do, I don't know, sea level at that place, so 350 feet. Hit enter on that. oh, nope, just this outer knob again. There's a sequence, and then come down to either load or activate, and then you hit enter. All right, have a good one with WMKI ground. Till next time. So it's not super horrible, Derek, and I don't know if that helped you at all, or if you've already tried all that stuff and it's still just a pain in the butt to you. I hope it helped, but I'm not going to activate any of this. In fact, I'm going to clear. And close it. I don't want to make any changes. Spindrift. Wish the VNAV worked in the 172 on Xbox. Would like to fly some good RNAV in it. Is that flown RNAVs and it picks up the glide slope? But again, I am on PC, so I don't know if that's a bug specific to Xbox. But I do know that if you're above the glide slope as you're trying to intercept it, it won't intercept it. You actually need to be below the glide slope and fly into it, and then it will intercept and descend. At least that was my experience on PC. I don't know if that helps. Derek, I'll try again. You made it look easier than my feeble attempts. I can't even count how many feeble attempts I had trying to learn this G1000, and I still don't even know the half of it. So have no worries there. Okay. Yeah, Symphonic, that was a great question. As you asked if I was using the NXI, and I'm starting to wonder, I think maybe I am, because that menu looked a little different than the stock. So maybe that's... Oh, can you get that on the Xbox, Symphonic? Do you know? Oh, Alan, yes. I see my bestest buddy. But ain't here bothering folks. That's a good thing. Yes, Alan, you are bot safe here. I do not have Nightbot, so you will not be getting timed out or banned or anything like that, because you and Nightbot are friends. Thank you, Symphonic, for giving that info for Derek. That's awesome. It did an update on the Xbox for the G1000. Sweet. Alright, let's see how we're doing here. 30 miles away, about 15 minutes. I don't know why it always goes quicker like that. Go into the outside camera and it's tilted. Nobody around. It's just us. I didn't realize how much fun it is to be a mod in the back end. You're absolutely right. Drinking your drink, sitting back and watching you fly. Yes. It is a lot of fun, and it's certainly a lot of fun to fly in your streams, you know, when you're doing them. But it does take away. You're right, Symphonic. That just being able to sit back, chill, and chat with the folks. That's an awful lot of fun. Not a lot of folks, but hey, for a first stream, 5 watching now, 6 likes. I actually, that's amazing. I was actually hoping I might get a goal of 5 likes. I already broke that. Awesome, perfect for a first stream. To learn how to put the inset map, wind speed, etc. Yeah, yeah. And it's even a little more different in here now than I was used to. So I got to be using the NXI. I have to be. Because if I go to map HSI, nope, that's not it. PFD output or options. There's my wind. And I can do option 1, 2, well, 3. Kind of like 3 at the moment. Oh shoot. The transponder's still in standby. That's a no. That's a no-no. Back. Transponder. Altitude. There we go. You sure about that, Sid Fanatic? Do it better than your first live stream? This is funny. Oh wow, 7 likes, you're right. Dang. I only had a goal of 5. And that was only in my head. Well, thank you guys. Alright, so now what was I doing? I was going back to our PFD options. Put the wind on. I could put a bearing on if I wanted to. Nav, ADF, GPS. I just leave those off for now. 8? Wow. That's one of the great things about being a mod sim. You can just sit there and count things. Alright. Don't knock the yoke back and forth too much there, aces. You'll end up knocking the autopilot off. Right, let's pull my range out a little bit here. So, do we want to do a touch and go here at Block Island, or we just want to continue on the path? What do you think, guys? Heck yeah, touch and go, touch and go, touch and go. Recruiting from the invisible folks. Nice. All right. We'll touch and go. Again, I know I like to do things real world, but for this stream, I'm kind of having fun with it. I think what I want to do for this one, I'm pretty sure they'd tell us to, I think it's 2-8 would be telling us how to land. But I think what I'm going to do is just do a, let's see. Airport elevation at Block Island is 108 feet, so the pattern will be 1,100 feet. You know what, I think we'll do straight in here, and that'll give us almost a perfect setup to do a 45 entry for a left downwind or runway 10. So we'll do that. It's probably going to be against any other traffic, but that's okay. 45 entry left downwind for runway 10. So now when we're about 5 miles out, I'll know we're certainly clear. Actually about 6, because from 4,500 we got about 6 miles glide. So about 6 miles out, maybe 5.5, 6 miles, we can start descending a little bit. And I will put my, I'm going to actually do some somewhat steep descents. Nice comfortable descents, 500 feet per minute. Might end up doing 1,000 feet per minute, because we're going to have to lose 3,500 feet, 3,400 feet. And if we do it 1,000, that's 3.5 minutes. And yeah, I don't know if we'll be in 5 miles with 3.5 minutes to go, so we may actually need a pretty steep descent. How's the picture quality, guys? I'm seeing mine is a little... Oh, I'm not on a high def. My auto went to 480p. I just bumped it up manually. Okay. Not had any hiccups or anything? No bufferings? Good here. Thanks, Alan. Excellent. It's a little choppy on takeoff, but now it's fine. Okay. No pick-me-ups. Okay. Smooth at 1080p. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I've done a couple of unlisted test streams here and there, but this is the first public live stream, so I really didn't know how it was going to go. So far, so good. See if we can get a nice look out the window. There is Block Island, straight ahead. The airport's going to be kind of on that side of it, right over there. So we're kind of set up for a 45 right now. Out 7 minutes. Let me put my pattern altitude in. I'm going to use my Bravo for it this time. Altitude. Put down to 1100. There we go. That's all set. Miles, 7 minutes. And we have a new streamer, folks. More live flights. Yes. I don't know if I'll be doing it as often as Simfanatic and Hudson, but it's funny. I had said to Simfanatic early on, I think this was back with like 20, 30 subscribers at best, and I was a little blown away at that. And he goes, before you know it, you'll have 100. And I was thinking, yeah, right. Well, I said, if I do, I'll tell you what, I'll do a live stream if I get 100. Well, I got 100, actually up to 104. So here I am doing a live stream. Maybe once a month or something I'll do it. We'll see. I never actually had thought to be doing live streaming so much. I do have a channel for racing, and after this camping season's done, then I'm going to put a bunch of time into iRacing, and Simfanatic does that too. So I do have a channel for racing that I have no activity on yet, but I don't think I'm going to make videos of it, but I'm going to certainly just throw in some live streams and watch race. You know, we're not going to be able to keep up with chat because we're racing, but you can watch if you like. Congrats, Aces Down. You deserve it, man. Providing great content. Keep it up. Thank you. Thank you very much. Derek, VS or FLC for dropping in alt? I'm actually going to use VS, vertical speed, because I want to have a specific feet per minute I descend for timing it right, instead of a speed. Yeah, and now Simfanatic is doling out the big bucks for a giveaway. Well, yeah, because he's about to hit 1,000, so 1,000 subs. All right, 5 minutes out, 9 miles. Well, let's see. 3.5, maybe 7 minutes. I could actually start a 500 foot per minute descent now and still be okay, I think. Let me see. What's my glide again? 6 miles? Yeah, no. I don't really want to descend until I'm at least 6 miles from the land. It's going to be about 3 minutes, I think. By the time we hit, actually, it'll be well within it. All right, Simfanatic, we'll see you shortly. Oh, but that's actually 7 miles from the airport. We're much closer to land. So yes, I will start my descent now. Vertical speed. And start dropping it down. We'll start at 1,000. Alan. Pull my throttle back a little bit. I'm into the yellow on the speed tape. I don't want that. There we go. This way, landing on 10, we can, yep, gotta have fun, absolutely, Alan. So this way, if we do the touch and go on 10, we'll be taking off in the right direction to head over to Martha's Vineyard. Pretty good. I don't see the beacon out there yet. But there should be the airport right about out here. Set my heading bug to 10. Oh, there's the airport right there. Alright, so let me turn the autopilot off. Set my heading bug. Oh. There we go. 10 0. Okay. Dropping like a brick now. So we should do a full stop then, Alan, so you can get yourself a refill at Martha's Vineyard. Alright, so we're on a 45 entry. A little higher than pattern altitude, which says it's going to be 1,100 feet here. But close enough. I'll turn my track on. And I don't see any traffic over there. I don't see anybody in a crosswind. So let's turn our downwind. 1100. Power back up. See if I can do this okay. I get to edit in videos, so there's no editing here. Evacuation complete, Fanatic. Alright. Beam the numbers. Pull back to about 1700-ish RPM. Maintain altitude. So the speed drops. I'm going to look for about 80. Use some trim here. There we go. Notch of flaps. There's our runway. Back there, we want about 45 degrees behind us. And it's just about there. Little bit of subtle trimming. Alright. Let's move so we have our heading bug directly off of our right, which would be right here on this marker. That would be our left base. Try to maintain that 80, Joe. Hey. Not doing so hot here. Alright, there we are. Turn to final. Throw in one more notch of flaps. Here we're going to pitch for So it was 80, and the second notch of flaps we do 75. Come on. Little overshot. Let's give her a little power. We're a little low. All right, a little less power. Let's get 75 going here. Final notch of flaps. Jeez, this thing's all over the place. It's probably me. So now we're going to pitch for about 70. Pull some power out. We can land anywhere from 65 to 70 in this thing. Definitely have the runway made, so power's out completely. And see the numbers. Level out a little bit, look to the end of the runway, let it settle. Touchdown, flaps coming up. Full power, mixture rich. Oh, yep, still rich. Looking for 55. Close enough. And away we go. Altitude set at now 9,500 for this little trip over to Martha's Vineyard. That wasn't very clean. Sorry to sloppy, guys. This is why I'm practicing in the sim. And then heading, match current, put heading mode on. Yep. Heading mode on. And autopilot. Oh yeah. It'd be nice if I told it how to climb, huh? Indicated airspeed. Let's do 65 this time. Let me turn off my tracking. Making you guys seasick, I'm sure. Oh, okay. Get that climb up now. We're almost on course, actually. Let me try hitting the nav and see what happens. Nope, not quite. So we are adjust yourself here, Aces. Let's see. Heading. There we go. We're a little to the right. Want to turn to the left a little bit. Intercept our course. Thank you, Symphonic Dice Greaser, he says. Hey, Aces Down, in real life, would you feel safe flying over the ocean in a single? Of course, that's why you calculated your glide to land, right? Absolutely. And yes, I would. And I've done it. I've actually flown into Martha's Vineyard in the real deal. It's fun. We just, we actually did it at 8,500 though. We had plenty of space and plenty of glide time. And then we circled over Martha's Vineyard for our descent. So, I forget, it's been a while, I have to look it up, but I think that you can't do the circling at night, like after a certain hour, but you can during the day. Yeah, it is pretty cool. The only other one we did was when we actually flew over the top of New York. We did a flight from Massachusetts down to North Carolina, so we had a little bit of over the ocean time. But we were always, like parallel the coast, so we're always within a couple of miles of the coast. So no matter what, we were able to glide in. But we chose to go over the water a bit for a while. It's really a lot of fun, and it's a lot more serene too, because you almost get the best of both worlds. You're not on a boat, but it's like open ocean. You know, you just look for miles, and you know, you look off to your left when you're going south, and there's nothing but ocean. Look to your right, there's the safety ashore. So it's really, really cool. Back up a little bit. Evacuation complete, yep. Spindrift, Austin Powers. Yes, Symphonic, I do know you're a movie buff, that's for sure. Alan, he does. He makes his guest movies last night. Many streams. I mean, after all, it's all ball bearings these days. Spindrift to watch too many movies. I hear you. Next week, thank you. I have not been to the One World Trade Center yet. I mean, I've hardly ever gone to New York City, except maybe to drive through it on a highway. I've never actually stopped in New York City before. Climbing up 9,500 feet. We'll end up doing another steep descent. Martha's Vineyard has, let's see, field elevation is 66 feet above sea level. So that means our traffic pattern will be 1,000 feet. We'll probably end up doing a straight-in approach to runway 6. Hey, Derek. Okay. Yeah. I'll have a replay up of it. Just skip into however long we've been doing this now, an hour and 13 minutes. And yeah, this should be available for you to watch the rest of it tomorrow and see what else I mess up or what surprises we might find along the way. I think there might be a little treat for some of you movie buffs. Take care, man. Have a good night. Thanks again for joining. Hey, Alan, you taking off too? All right. Have a good night, man. Thank you very much for joining up, and we'll catch you next time. God, I just love these views. Let's hop outside for a minute. It's all wonky. We don't want it to be all wonky. I hear another plane. Hey! Somebody's with me. How cool is that? That's pretty cool. Sweet, who dat? I have no idea. Well, it's probably Aviation Spotter, right? Props, yeah. Although I would have expected him in an Airbus or something. Maybe it was just somebody else happened to be flying around the same time because they just took off, passed me, and kept on going. buzzing back the other way. Let's take a look inside here. We got 34 miles to the airport. Minus 10, that's 24 miles. We got about 16, so I think we're in that 8-mile stretch that we don't have a chance of landing on land if anything were to go wrong right now. But to get down to 1,000-foot pattern altitude, once we even reach 9,500, that means I gotta lose, what, 8,500 feet? I need 8.5 minutes at 1,000 feet per minute. Should be able to pull that off. I don't see him anymore. I'm half tempted to throw on nameplates, but oh well. All great as long as your engine takes you to the altitude you need to make it back to land. Well, yeah, and then some. Because we have to get to 9,500 feet in order to have the, what did I say, 16 miles of glide? 14 miles at 9,500. So in order to be able to glide 14 miles, I have to get to 9,500 feet. And right now, we're at 68. So we're almost there, but not quite. Yeah, well, hasn't failed yet, so I'll keep my fingers crossed. Thumbs up. Cool. .72, and of course the rate of climb slows down the higher you get. So what do you think, Ace, given the link I sent you, 5800X or 5900X? Well, I didn't actually get a chance to read it that in depth, but you did say the difference is in compiling. That sounds like the 5900X would be better for things like, you know, doing database work or office-y type things. Whereas the 5800X may not have quite that capability, but it's still plentiful enough for gaming. FPS was the same for both with a 3070. Well, there you go. This is a lot of it's the power of the 3070. A lot of that happens on the GPU, as you well know. But yeah, having a good backbone of a CPU is not bad. The question: the 5800X, though, there's the plane again, right there above my little window. Oh, hopping in and out. The 5800X or the 5900X, they can both go into the same socket, right? So you wouldn't have to change the motherboard. All right, well, I'll put it to you this way then. I'd go myself with the 5800X for now. Get up and running. I know the GPU is going to be the harder one to source at the moment, but I'd get everything in place. Nope, PCI 16X. Okay, you confused me. I was just thinking if the 5800X and the 5900X each could both go in the same motherboard, then you get the 5800X now, and then later on, yeah, CPU socket for the processor, the CPU. Yeah, they're both Zen 3, so they both should fit in this. So you get the one motherboard that would be able to run the 5900X, and you slap a 5800X in it for now. And then later on down the road, you can upgrade to the 5900X. You don't have to change your motherboard. Or the memory, I don't think, for that matter. And in either case, be it the 5800X or the 5900X, you'll end up with a little bit of better performance out of your current GPU, because it can handle some of it, because it bottlenecks at the GPU, so the CPU tries to pick it up a little bit. And if these two blow away your current CPU, then it'll help out. Yeah, it might be beyond the 5900X by that point. So then you just get one of those. I know, it's the dilemmas we face. I got 18 minutes out, 24 miles. And we're not quite at 9,500 feet yet. Let me lean my mixture out. Oh, look at that. Getting some power back. Four 60, 70, 80, 90, 80. Riching it up a little bit. There we are. See, I pulled the Symphonetic. I got to talking and I completely forgot to pull my mixture. And we're well due for it, so. But that's okay, we caught it. Engine did not stall. Great to see it happening to someone else. Yeah. It's funny when you see it happen to somebody else, isn't it? But of course, now I'm on the other shoe thinking, oh man, that stinks. So we're going to be starting to level out here shortly. Yeah, no, I'm not flying an A320 anytime soon. Well, that's because to him it is easy. All right, 9,500 feet. 21 miles from the airport, so we're about 11 miles out. We can definitely glide to land now from here. Yeah, he's not streaming when he flies it, or he is, and he's just flying next to you in your stream. I'm not as chatty for a first live stream, but man, this has been interesting. It's 4 watching now. Had 3 watching now. Had a total of 7 at one point. 7 likes. Totally beyond my expectations. Debating whether to do a landing here or not, or just continue on, because we have, let's see, down to it, this leg, 26, 19, 8, so 50, 53, something. Yeah. Probably almost another hour of flying time without landing. Okay. I'll see you in a minute. So the debate. Do I do a touch and go or landing here at Martha's Vineyard? Or do we just overfly? We can get back down to 5,500 once we're over land here. That'll be our next leg up to Chatham. It's actually spelled Chatham, so it's known as Chatham if you live in the area, but for every other normal human being that reads it, you would pronounce it Chatham. You really would. We're just abnormal over here in the Northeast. Well, I am. Alright, looks like we have plenty of room for being able to land, and even at 5,500 feet, that would give me, oh, let's see, 8 miles glide, and the next couple stretches over water. From here, we're certainly within 8 miles now of land. So yeah, let's drop down to 5,500, and I'll use the Bravo and set my altitude from 9,500 to 5,500. There's 5,500, and I'm going to set vertical speed as down 1,000 feet per minute. And we'll pull some throttle out so we don't overspeed. I think we may just overfly Martha's Vineyard here. Like I said, we're still looking at about an hour of flight time, and there is a treat I wanted to show up the just off the east coast of Massachusetts, just past Chatham. I want want to try to keep this a 2-hour stream. Started at 11, it's now 12:15 my time. So we have 45 minutes of stream time left. So I want to try to fit it in there if I can. Unless you guys pipe up and say, no, land it. Well, then I'll land it. But I'm thinking just for time, we'll just keep on going. I want to get to that little surprise. It's okay. It's not the best in the world, but it's a good one. Especially for movie buffs. Keep going. All right, we're going to keep on going. But we are descending to 5,500 feet because the next few stretches over water are only about 10 to 12 miles, and we'll have 8 miles of glide from 5,500. So we should be perfectly safe. $7,800. Speed's doing okay. We're not overspeeding. Get established here. I'm going to step away for about 2 minutes for my own little quick bio break while we're on this next leg. But when I return, I will have a surprise for you, Sim Fanatic, and anyone else who happens to be here. Unexpected. I just felt like doing it, so I'm going to do it. You shall see. Another about 1,000 to go. We'll overfly Martha's Vineyard here. Continue on to Chatham. Actually, not Chatham. We'll be continuing on to Nantucket and then Chatham. You love surprises. Okay. The suspense says Spindrift. Yeah. We're enriching my mixture a little bit. We just went from 9,500 down to 58, so we could use a little bit more fuel in the mixture. It's too rich. It's dropping again. Back it back out. 2020, 2030. So now richen it up just a little bit, get back to 2030. Because we're leveling out, that's why. Let's try this again. 5,500. Oh man, I think I forgot something. Yikes. Hey, Don. 60, 70, 60, a little richer, back to 2070, there we go. Aces and Symphanatic. Hey, good to see you, Don. How are you doing tonight? All right, I'll be right back in about 2 minutes, quick bio break, and then I'll give you that little surprise. Be right back, guys. Alright, I'm back. Let's see. Let's see here, Dawn. Good. Low-Tech. Hey, how you doing, Low-Tech? Thank you for joining. I see you all the time in Symphonetics stream. Appreciate it, man. Dawn, I'm glad I saw it a minute ago. It felt like when I was a kid, looked out the upstairs window and saw my baseball team on the playing field, and I was the pitcher and forgot. Hey, no worries, man. It's good to see you. That was you. Okay. So you've actually been here for a little bit then. I was wondering who that was. I was going to turn on nameplates, but I'm like, no, because then it'll kind of pause the stream. That's freaking cool. Well, thanks for flying with me. That's awesome. All right, guys. Here's the surprise I was talking about. I don't normally do this, so I Mickey Moused it together for this time. 9. I see 8 so far on my end, but it'll pop up, I'm sure. So yeah, I Mickey Mouse this together just for this stream. If I do it more, I'm not going to leave it on very long, but if I do it more, I'll have to figure out something better. But just to say hello, hi guys, how you doing? Hey, that must be Low-Tech. Right out here. Yeah, I figured I'd at least give you guys a little view. Great to finally see you. Yes, I see you all the time, Symphonetics, so I figured I could return the favor, at least that. Hey, I feel like I already knew you looked like a friend of mine. Nice. That is a special treat. Leave it on for a couple of minutes. But yeah, you can see I got my track IR finally. Getting used to it. It is pretty nice. Activate it here. I was playing with the sensitivities. It moved kind of fast for me, but I think I got it slowed down enough. It's not so bad. And yeah, you can see the headphones, same as yours. Spindrift, no. This hat is actually Dale Earnhardt Jr. when he was driving the 88, and of course Alex Bowman drives it now. Actually, take that back. Alex Bowman drove it after Junior did. Alex Bowman is now in the 48. Who the heck went into the 88? I don't remember now. Bad NASCAR fan. Anyways, I'm going to pull my mug off the screen, I think. But, yeah, I figured I'd introduce myself for a minute and just say hi, and I'm Aces. So at least now you can have a little bit of a picture when we're flying it together again. Special treat. There you go. There you go, Symphonetic. Mentioned that earlier, so I gave it to you. Ah. All right. Don C, I love my VR, but I'm thinking the track IR and flight sim with the hardware we have is the perfect combo. Yes, it is. It really is. I want VR as well, but I just don't see how I would possibly be able to use my keyboard with certain key bindings I have on that, combined with the throttles and switches on the Bravo and the Alpha all while I can't see any of it. I just don't see how it would be possible for me. And if some can pull it off, that's fantastic. He says, I'm sorry I didn't get the flight plan or even remember about the live stream. I was on the phone talking to my cousin when I saw this was running and went into AFIB. AFib. Well, no need to have a heart attack over it, Don. But if you want to fly in, I mean, we're just coming up to Nantucket, which is, let's see. Let me pull up my other thing here. Where did it go? Here we are. We are currently just about to fly over Kilo Alpha Charlie Kilo, which is Nantucket Island, and the next stop is Kilo Charlie Quebec X-Ray, which is Chatham in Massachusetts, and then we'll be flying to Lima Foxtrot Victor, which is a VOR, on the big arm of Massachusetts that sticks out in the water, and following that we'll be landing into Kilo Papa Victor Charlie, which is Provincetown Airport, the very tip of that arm on Massachusetts. Did you get all that? Heartbeat skipping. Yeah. Symphonetic. Thank man, you don't know how much that means to me. You've seen me this whole time, and this is the first time I've seen you. Hey brother, no worries. I thought about it. Just, I don't feel like I'm very photogenic per se. Lucas, how you doing? I don't feel like I'm very photogenic, but hey, you know, I know most of you guys in here, we chat all the time, so why not? So, you've attended all of my streams, and that meant a lot. Thanks. Hey, no problems, brother. Lucas. Good, I'm doing pretty good. All right, quick, one more time, because Lucas wasn't here. And then that's it. Turning it off. Activate, and boom. Hi, Lucas. I'm Aces. Okay, that's long enough. But just saying hello to everybody. I know you guys, so. Nice to finally see me, right? Oh, thank you, Don. Guess I gotta get over my stage fright. I'll do it slowly, but I'll get there. I'm okay with voice and everything. Yeah, you're probably right, Don. Be on full time before you know it. Lucas, that's awesome. Dad pods are in right now, dude. Use it to your event, yeah, right? Oh, I'm a grandpa bod. I've actually got 2 grandkids now. Both grandsons. It's an amazing feeling, I'll tell you. Anyway, so here we are flying over, what did I say? Nantucket. The next leg now, we go to KCQX, Kilo Charlie Quebec X-Ray. Well, I'm a grandpa bot. Left. Nice, Todd. Symphonetic. Hey, Aces, I'm envious. I can't grow facial hair. Have you seen me? Well, you know why? It's because you're riding your bike all the time. All the wind is just blowing all the facial hair off. It doesn't have a chance to grow. I don't know. I've actually had people tell me, oh, you should dye your beard so you don't have the grays in there. And I say, oh, no, no, no. I earned these mothers. All right, we should be making our turn shortly here. Yeah, we're just about on it. Oh, here we go. The airport should be pretty much below us, I think. Yep, there it is. Dawn, LFV is a VOR, so it's not an airport. You'd have to make sure that you have nav aids turned on and filters. Well, we got all wonky again. And I'm heading to Chatham now, Dawn, so if you just wanted to hop into Kilo Charlie Quebec X-ray, I think it is, Chatham, Massachusetts, and just take off from there and fly along. Come meet me. Airplane. I don't see it though. Right up out here, actually, in Chatham, I'm going to descend quite a bit, because that is where the other treat, I think, is. KCQX to KPVC. That sounds fine, yep. Cincinnati going to smoke pork butt on the green egg tomorrow for the Iowa versus ISU game. Can't wait. Yeah, man, that sounds like a great time. I'll be thinking of you while I'm at camp. I'll be envious of that. Sounds like a really good time. I like pork butt and I cannot lie. Oh, sorry. Kept Violet visualizing a huge cigar. Spindrift watching Oregon versus Ohio State. Cool. My team will get smoked. Yep, that's true. Symptomatic, because of he's got family coming in and he's watching the game and doing that whole barbecue thing, so he's not doing his live stream Saturday. Last I heard, it's either going to be Sunday or Tuesday. He's yet to figure that out. But I can make Tuesday. I just can't make Sunday. So there's food for thought. But yeah, whenever you want to, man. And Symptomatic will let us all know in his Discord when he decides he's going to do it. Gets it scheduled. Lucas, no worries. This new work schedule basically guarantees all this every stream unless I'm lucky. Well, don't move to Vegas. Tuesday it is. Aces down. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. You didn't have to do it just because of me, but... Alright. I'm going to start descending a little bit pretty soon. So we're going to fly along this section up here. You guys can see my mouse. Should be a scenery in here. might be able to make that? That would be awesome, dude. Well, this is strange. My test stream earlier, I had a live latency of about 2.5 seconds. Now I have a live latency of 10.82. So, messed up a setting somewhere. That's okay. I'm gonna try ultra low latency next time. Oh, Lucas, that'd be so cool. Yeah, Symphonic, there's another reason Tuesday it is. I can make it, it looks like Lucas can make it. Hopefully everybody else can too. Get Dawn in there. Aviation spotter, hopefully. Who else we got? Dawn, you're taking off from KCQX. I am south of it right now, over the water. And I'm going to be getting down to probably about 200 feet over the water here near land very shortly. Wow. My very first live stream, and we managed to coordinate and schedule a live stream for Symphonic. How amazing is that? Now, come on. Isn't that just the bee's knees? I was going to say something else, but I said, no, I'll try to keep it clean. Sounds good, Don. Alright, I'm going to start descending. Let's go back inside. And altitude. Right down to 200 feet. And let's do vertical speed. We're at 55, let's do 1,000. Yeah, we'll do 1,500, what the heck. Steep dive tonight. Pull the power back. Try to keep us out of the yellow zone. There we go. 10 aces, sweet. Yeah, I'm only seeing 9 yet at the moment, but it'll come through for me. Okay, I'm gonna sync up my heading too. There we go, and instead of I'm now going to heading mode instead of GPS, so that I can now steer the plane with my heading bug. The beesiest knees. That's right, Lucas. Lucas, I just learned the default 172 has autopilot and vertical speed. Yes, it does. The 172, actually there's two 172s. One does not have it, I don't think, and this one does. It specifically says 172 G1000, and that's the one I'm flying tonight. So we're going to come over this way so that we're skirting on the east side of the coast here. Lucas, oh, makes sense to typically fly the 6-pack 172. Yeah, there definitely is a 6-pack 172. Now, the one with the G1000, I don't remember if that's stock in the standard. It may be either in the deluxe or the premium that it is available. Because I have the deluxe premium, so I have all of them. I don't know, I forget offhand which one it's in. Symphonic, can you check that? Or Lucas, do you know if you already have it or not? To the east. like only having to move the heading bug. Oh, Lucas, you got them all too, just never played with 172 long enough to check for autopilot. Gotcha. Okay. Never mind, Simfanatic. He's got them all. But it still would be good to know if it's in the standard package or not. And if not, which package it's in. $800 feet. We're approaching our 200-foot mark. Okay, it's getting ready to level us out. Oh, I can put my mixture full rich for sure. And increase my power. Actually go full rich below 3,000 feet. Alright, and now let's come west a little. I want to skirt the shore here. Yeah, 200 feet. I'm in trouble if I lose an engine right here. I'm flying like you. Yeah, well, like I said, this isn't exact. I mean, you can fly 200 feet over the water like this in the real deal. If you really wanted to. I just wouldn't advise it. I wouldn't do this in real life, but for this sim and for this stream, why not? Eight watching now. That's wow. I'm blown away, guys. I really am. Looking for a piece of scenery out here. It's all good, Aces. This is so great being on the other side. That's right. Welcome to the dark side, my friend. There you go, Simfanatic. You know that movie reference? I'll disown you if you don't. Lucas, none of my CFIs have ever been okay with buzzing bodies of water, which is lame. I want to pretend I'm Maverick in my C-172 or Cherokee 180. You have got to be joking me, Simfanatic. All right, that's a joke. There's no way. No. You're punking me. Oh, we got a speck on the horizon here. Yeah, even I, like I said, Lucas, I would not be doing this in the real deal. No. It's way too low. God forbid there was any issue. Would just be in the water almost instantly. Alright. Get ready with a live pause here so we can check out this scenery coming up. Good, Simfanatic. Had me going for a second there. What do we have here, folks? Seriously? What? Oh, yeah. Of course, man. Alright, let's hop over here. What do we have? Lucas, I probably would if I lived by the ocean still. I'm going to have faith in your AMPs or know how to swim really well. Yeah, well, that's true too. Yes, exactly, Sim Fanatic. Polar opposite. Well, look at what we got here. This is actually a scenery that, again, I forget which version of Flight Simulator it was originally made for. But it was like 95 or Flight Sim X or something like that. And then they just ported it to 2020. Yes, this boat has seen better days. Besides Sim Fanatic. You guys got to know this movie, right? Was that an add-on or an MSFS? No, this was actually an add-on I got from flightsim.to. Whoever made it for the older version of Flight Simulator took it as it was and just ported it so it would work in 2020. They didn't update the graphics or anything, so it's cheesy like, from the older Flight Sims, but it was a neat thing to have. Okay, everybody's punking me. Awesome. I'm glad you know. You're right, absolutely correct. It was Marley and me. There's the dog coming out of the water. He's trying to hop onto the boat so they can go home and dry off, give a shake. Anyway, I just thought it was really cool. Let's head back to our airplane. Don's probably wondering where I'm at. Although, of course, he's probably watching, so he knows. Get to the mast. Yes. Getting a little better with this camera control, but not much. So sorry if you guys are getting seasick. Wondering about that shark's 10-foot long underbite. Nice. Alright, so let's hop back inside, and I'll turn active pause off. Boom. And now I'm going to set my altitude back up to, probably do 1500 for here, as we're going to be so close to the shore. So, altitude. Altitude. Thank you. 1500. And let's do vertical speed for this one. Let's go up 500. And my heading. Let's turn to intercept our course line. Full power for any kind of climb. Alright, Don, I'm a little north now. Forgot, just landed there. Oh, at PVC? I'm just north of Chatham, where you took off, and I'm coming up to the course line here. Nice. That's funny. the scenery is, I mean, this is stock scenery from Microsoft after the update, and I've managed to run it on Ultra, and this is just, I mean, I'm loving it. They did a lot of great work in this update, and it's weird because it kind of broke some Xbox things, but when Xbox is released working great, PC broke. So I guess it's going to go back and forth. So the next update will probably break PC again, and Xbox will be like, yay, we're fixed. So I hope not, but you never know. I totally forgot to hit nav to make sure it intercepted. Okay. And it will. So GPS is on red, white, waiting to intercept. Should I take off, or am I waiting for you guys to land? If you're at KPVC, Dawn, that is the final landing. So if you want to take off and come join me, I'm just coming up to the bottom of the elbow here. Oh, wow. Yes. 10 likes. Man, this is much better than I could have ever imagined for a very first live stream. You guys are awesome. Every single one of you. Okay, we should be intercepting GPS any second. We'll make a right bank here. At 1500, let me reduce my power. I'm overstressing the engine there. Down to about 2400 RPM-ish. 2450 is fine. 11, okay. Nice. And there we go. Now intercepted the GPS. Around on, if you have nameplates on, you should be able to see me somewhere. Not that far. 11 miles from my next waypoint, and then a few more. So yeah, probably 15 miles to your southeast from PVC. So I think for this final landing, I think what I'm going to do is try to do it all proper. So let's tune up some ATC here. KPVC automated weather.
Kilo Papa Victor Charlie automated weather observation 2100 Zulu. Wind 286 at tree. Visibility niner. Sky condition clear. Temperature 15C dew point 13C altimeter 2992. Kilo Papa Victor Charlie automated weather observation 2100 Zulu.
286.
Wind 286 at tree.
Traffic now, minimize that. And if I pull up my sky vector here. Let's go take a look at KPVC. Runway 25 and 7. So it looks like we'll probably do 25 because the wind is 28. What do you think, Symphonatics? Sound like a plan? heading bug to 250. There we are. So now we know where our runway is going to be. So might extend out a little bit further so we can then turn around, come back in on a 45 for left downwind to 25. Oh, actually, no. We'll go west a little bit so we can enter the 25 is going to be going toward the west. So, yeah. Had that backwards for a second. We'll shorten it up a little bit and try to hit that 45 for left downwind. All right, we're in the sky vector. What alarms? Why did my ELT go off? That was strange. What the heck was that? Okay. Aviation spotter, where are ya? Highlight reel. That was the strangest thing. I have never had that happen before. I literally pulled my headphone aside thinking, was that one of the car alarms in the driveway? But it got quieter. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's in the sim. Crazy. Sim fanatic laughing about it. It's just trees down there, but it looks so real. I mean, Sim Fanatic, you can attest to this. That's what it looks like when you're flying a plane. Even at 1,500 feet, that's what the trees look like. Oh, you really are having a blast at being on the other side of this, aren't you there, Sim Fanatic? That's awesome. So glad you're having the chance to do that, man. It really is a lot of fun. But now you kind of understand why I do make every stream, because it is that dang fun. I'm still laughing. Nice. We should be just about over our VOR here. Let's see if we can see it. That looks like it's probably it right there. Little circle, oftentimes it's like a bowling pin kind of structure in there. I took my headphone part off, thinking it might be a car alarm. Yeah. Yep, that's the MDB, that's the beacon right there, the VOR. So we started our turn, now heading to KPVC. Final leg now. Yeah, it's just so weird. I've never had the LT go off on me in the sim. Nor neither in the real plane either, thank God. But that's the first time. So there's something you once said to me, Sim Fanatic, which is totally true. It never happens unless you're live streaming, and then everything happens. It's an amazing phenomenon. Still laughing. lot of glare from that sun, and that's realistic too. You get blinded. Exactly. Finally, Aces Tom understands. Yep. Oh, how true it is. Hey, here's a thought. Let's see how we're doing here. Fuel quantity. All right, yeah, we're still good. Excuse me. I actually took off on this one with full tanks because you guys were, flying along, sure, but it was just me in the airplane. I didn't have any baggage, so I was able to use full tanks. All right, what do we got? 3 minutes, 5 miles. All right, so let's start coming down at field elevation here. Shoot, is what? I think it's also like 43 or something. Surveyed elevation is 7 feet. So yes, we are going to be doing a 1,000 foot pattern. So let's drop down to 1,000 feet. I'm going to go to heading mode and bring the heading kind of this way for a moment. I got to remember 2.5. And then altitude 1,000. Vertical speed. Feet a minute. Yeah, just my little runway. I don't see it. Oh, there it is over there. Time for some head tracking. Right over there. 2.5 is going to be going up that way, so yeah, we're just about ready for our 45. Anything can and will happen, so 2 parts aviation spotter needs to get in the highlights. You're pushed back, that wouldn't stop. Start of the stream and then the epic ELT alarm, absolutely. Maybe we just have them stick them into yours. See how much of this I can do with the autopilot. There's a nice experimentation right there. Okay, there's the runway, so let's go ahead and get 250 behind me. A little close to the runway here. But you know what? I'm just going to turn autopilot off and hand fly it at this point. Hey, I believe I see Dawn out there on turn and final. Hi, Dawn. Okay, 1,700 RPM, end of the runway. Hold our altitude best we can. Get into the white arc. A little bit of trim. 1,700, please. Thank you. Notch flaps. Runway 45 behind, not quite yet. I'm going to want to pitch for 80 here. Trimmed up too much. There we go. Not quite there. Still getting a little used to using the head tracking on these approaches like this. back on 250. Let's make our base turn. It's going to be a quick, short base to final, I think. So while we're turning, let's put in another notch of flaps, get our speed back under control. This is not going very pretty. Here we go. It's a little better. Where'd it go? Oh, it's over there. Overshot. Oh man, sorry guys. This is the adaptive pattern that we're doing here. Let's do another quick check. No traffic. Watch out, Don. I'm coming in. Alright, looking pretty good there. Let's do one last notch of flaps. And we'll trim out for about 65 to 70 here. Yeah, it isn't so easy when you're live streaming. That's true. That's crazy. I can do this all day in my sleep during the day when I'm not streaming or anything, and then this. Alright, let's go power out. We're a little high. Let's do a little bit of a slip. Not much, just a little one. Alright, that's good. You see the pappies still say I'm high, but I feel like I'm not going to clear the trees if I didn't. There we go. Now we're coming in. Here we go. Level it out. Eyes to the end of the runway. Oh, my rudder pedals are slipping again. There we are. On the ground. A little bit of brakes. Bring my flaps up. They are coming up. Pappies are a-holes. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to turn my head tracking off for a minute. So there we have it. Oops, wasn't paying attention. So this is Provincetown in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. This is default scenery. No extra payware or anything or freeware. It's a long taxiway to get around it. It's weird how they separated the little terminal building and the Spindrift. You made it. It's weird how they separated the terminal and the runway like that. It's kind of neat because you feel like you're all to yourself on a runway that there's nothing around, and then behind this row of trees you come up to a terminal over here. Park next to low tech. Sweet. Oh, so Spindrift, that was you then. That was on the turn and base to final when I was doing my 45 trying to do downwind, I think, then. I see one plane over here. I only see one plane. Hang on a second. Escape, general options, traffic, and nameplates. Apply. Resume. All the way down here for a second. And then I will turn around. You're in a yellow 172. Okay, I think you're the one I saw then. Oh, wow, there you guys are. There's somebody else right in front of me that just disappeared. I'll just pull up right here, I guess. I don't want to hit this parking dude. I'll hit this one. Close enough. It's government work. There we go. So there we are. My goodness. Right the camera. I just see one yellow 172. That's it. That's a shame. Yep, there's Spindrift. Well, that's a bummer. Three besides me, or three altogether, including me? Don's parked right next to me. We did 2 landings. Lotex and an SR-22. This is a real shame, guys. I can't see anybody but Spindrift. Hold up. Let's see if y'all pop back in now. Of course not. Now I'm all by myself. All right. Well, anyways, that's really a shame. Oh! Here we go. Here we go. Haha. Success. Now, where'd Spindrift go? I see a nameplate for Dawn, but I don't see her plate. Hello? Hello? Mic check? Something went wrong. Sorry, guys. You can hear me now, though, right? All right. I don't know what it. See? Again, it's live streaming. I must have hit a button or something. But yeah, I was saying, well, you didn't hear, but I was saying this is, the last stop of the trip. And Symphonic, if you don't mind, I'm thinking of, little voice debrief in your Discord there, if you don't mind. And we'll see what we're doing from there. But I just want to thank everybody. You guys are all fantastic. Had up to 9 watching not too long ago, 8 still watching. Each and every one of you, thank you so much for my debut stream. I am just blown away. I really am. You guys are incredible, all of you. So, anyway, so I think I'm going to call it. Welcome to the wonderful world of live streaming. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, everybody have a good evening, and I'll see you in the Discord shortly. Thanks, man.